This podcast of storytellers would like to acknowledge the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, the first storytellers and traditional owners and custodians of the land we are recording on today. We pay our respects to their elders past and present. We hope to honour their thousands of years of spiritual and cultural connections to this land, while recognising the atrocities Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples still face systematically to this day. We acknowledge that sovereignty was never ceded, and that Naarm was and always will be Aboriginal land.
Yanni wakes up in a cold sweat from having watched her friends fighting what could only be described as a monster. And there was Minh FANG bending lava, there was Tomo trying to explode, and Nuro, she doesn't know what that was. The last part of her dream was her looking down and seeing a spirit fox. You have to help them. Wasting no time, she gets dressed, grabs her things, writes a note for Addie, who's still asleep, and kisses her tenderly on the forehead before she heads to the local watering hole. Bursting open the doors in a way that she's prone to doing, she announces to the room, I have treasure and stuff for anyone that can get me to Foggy Swamp, like, right now. Anyone? Anyone?
Hi. Where do you... Foggy Swamp? I guess I can take you. I've got a boat. I can take you.
Oh, spirits, you are an actual lifesaver, possibly literally, if we can get there. Right now would be great.
Okay. Sure. Hang on. Let me finish my... Okay. Let me get my... Okay. All right. Let's go.
Okay. You don't have to stay for the dangerous bit if you don't want. It's fine. Okay, let's go.
All right. Okay.
A few days later, she has another dream. And this time it's seeing Nuro waking up since first turning into the sapling. And things aren't right. And no matter how much she calls out, she's not getting through. They can't hear you in this space. What do you mean? They're struggling. And their thread to destiny is unraveling very quickly. Well, what am I supposed to do about it? Like, how do I fix this? I don't know. Don't you, work in, the biggest space where there's everything? Can't you just find anything, just look up the word destiny and just bring me some stuff? The fox looks very confused for a second and says, I could do that. I'll be back. Yanni wakes up with a start, covered in sweat. She sees her new travelling companion stoking the fire of her boat. Apparently the girl never sleeps. Sorry, I had a bad dream.
Oh, what's wrong? What happened?
Look, this is going to sound really weird, but
Okay.
Do you know much about spirits?
Not really. Sorry.
Sometimes I can't quite figure out what's real and what's not. You know, the line is blurring more and more, and I don't really know how to deal with that.
What if you tried?
Drinking sometimes helps.
Okay, well, maybe there's some alcohol on the Foggy Swamp when we get there, and that'll help more? I don't really know. I'm sorry.
That's okay. I guess we'll just, we'll deal with it. Thanks again.
Look, there's not much that I know, but I'm sure whatever it is, it'll be fine.
Look, I don't drink as much as I used to. I have a bit of a reputation. But, maybe. Do you need to get some sleep? I don't think I've actually seen you close your eyes.
No, it's fine. I'll keep the boat running. You get some rest. You've had a hard night, a couple of nights.
Over the course of the next few days, more and more books, tomes, parchment scrolls, all types of things keep appearing out of nowhere, seemingly. And Yanni reads them all. Everything related to the word destiny that she can get her hands on, she reads. And eventually she sees something that she thinks is going to work. Yanni and her new companion are walking through the swamp. She doesn't explain how she knows the way to go, she just does. And she's ready. And she says, I really do appreciate you coming along with this because So you know the plan, right?
Yeah, I mean, we get there and yeah, no, it's fine.
I mean, because I don't have the slash.
No,
and
I mean,
the book says you've got to. You can do it.
I can do it. It'll be fine. No, don't worry. I got this.
Before long, the two travelers see the scene unfolding. Nuro is being squeezed by this tree that Yanni has described in great definition, and she sees a firebender and Minh paralyzed, with fear of not knowing what to do. She takes the opportunity. Now! The water slashes down, cuts the resin, and Nuro's body slides down as the other one petrifies. And Yanni swoops in, ready to save the day, smiling to herself that this is her chance to prove herself.
Benders and babes, and welcome back to the Book of War, an Avatar Legends real play. The story of 4 teens, maybe. That are also runaways, seeking the Book of War in a world without the Avatar. My name is Jesse Thomas, and I play Minh FANG, the Foundling, he, him, a runaway from the Earth Kingdom who found a new home for themselves in the Northern Water Tribe while hiding from deadly family secrets. My Minh fact for today is that Jesse has played 35 hours of Monster Hunter Wilds, and it's been out for 3 days.
20 hours of that was making your character.
50 minutes was making my character, and I've made my character so accurate that my brain is like every time I see my character on screen, my brain's like, that's you. That's you. That's you.
Are you actually a bird looking in the mirror?
Yeah, well, pretty much.
Jesse finally has main character energy.
Yes. Monster Hunter is is probably my favorite game. I took work off to play it for this full weekend, and usually I don't take time off work. So this is this weekend has been a big deal for me, and the fact that I'm here infuriates me to no end. I'm not playing Monster Hunter right now. It's really upsetting.
We're going to record this at double time.
Guys.
Speaking of infuriating Jesse to no end, my name's Ted Darling and I play Banji, the Idealist, he, him, a runaway firebender who's risen from the ashes of his old life. While the fate of the world rests on the edge of a blade, he fights for freedom, for justice, and for peace. Yes, got it without looking at my notes, guys.
You did
very
it's
good.
Only been...
I liked when you closed your eyes for that.
Yeah.
Just ultra
Had to
in.
focus, yeah. My Banji fact is actually, I guess it's more of a TED fact. I recently attended a Brush of Adventure, which is one of our Patreon Tessa's lovely little miniature painting event. It was very, very cool. And there I actually met some listeners of the show. So I want to give a shout out to Zenu and Deshawn. Thank you so much for sitting at my table and listening to me ramble and helping me, giving me painting tips. So yeah, that's me.
It is an impressive mini for your first time. So they must have given you some great
Thank you.
tips.
Thank you very much. Yeah, and Tessa was great. I highly recommend if you're in Melbourne, please check it out. Brush of Adventure. I'm not getting paid for this. I just really loved it, and I painted Karlak, my beloved. So
hello, my name is Georgie Hazel, and I play Nuro, the icon. They, she, he. A runaway of the foggy swamp, now confronted with the truth that they were never really living for themselves. Nuro struggles to untangle from the roots of the destiny tree while facing the burdens ahead. Is their place ultimately with their tribe or with their other runaways?
Dang. Are we allowed to applaud? Is that a...
No clap.
Okay. Hey, guess what?
Yeah, I don't have to give you all the fact. I changed playbooks. I changed my opening.
is your fact that you are still Nuro, maybe?
We'll find out. We've got a whole episode to explore that.
Since you got a new playbook, why don't you tell us like one of your moves or what the...
Show me your moves!
Show me your moves. Yeah, I can talk about the icon a little bit. So first of all, their balance is roll and freedom.
Ooh.
Which I think is a very interesting thing for Nuro. And their playbook, what are they called? Like the these.
I just call it their main
sections.
move.
Yeah,
It does have a name, but their main move.
All right, so main moves are centered around burden and tradition. So I choose a few responsibilities and a few prohibitions. The icon is all about burden and tradition. So I specifically have to choose 3 responsibilities from a list and 3 prohibitions, which are essentially things that I cannot go against as a character. And if I do, things happen.
Have you already picked them?
Yes, I have.
Oh, we have to hear them.
Would you like to hear them? Okay, so
Unless you want to like bring them out in story. Choice is yours.
No, I
You want to be held to the standard from day dot.
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, I think it's interesting, and I chose them not just from their history in the swamp, but actually their companions that they've been traveling with. They all had a little bit to do with this. So, the first one of the 3 responsibilities that I've chosen is overthrowing tyrants,
Hell
Yes.
yeah.
Nice.
searching for hidden histories and artifacts,
Yes.
and guarding nature from threats and destruction.
Those are great.
Yeah, that's
Very
excellent.
Cool. Love
Very
those.
cool.
Yeah, and my 3 prohibitions of my burden and my tradition is never refuse an earnest request for help, never run from a fight, and never use your role for gain or profit.
Very cool.
Never use your rolls, so you got to put those dice away. We have to go back to the ones that don't work.
No, I have a little fun fact. So I kept some moves from the Destined and I took a few from the Icon, but I would like you all to know that Nuro doesn't have a single negative or 0 stat across the board anymore.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Tomo vibes.
Yes. Be prepared.
Hello, my name is Tilia Quinn, and I play Kiyomi, the Adamant, she, her, a waterbender making her way around the world that seems to fight her back at every step. But is it her that's resisting the world, or is the conflict coming within? Do we want a fun fact? I guess my fun fact is, hello, I'm here. Nice to meet you.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Some people might recognize the voice from the Toys, Tinsel and Trouble 2, the Terminator Terror time
I call
travel.
it a sci-fi Christmas special.
Yeah, I was
Nice.
just trying to make up more words. Yes, Tilia joined us for that and knocked it out of the park and was like, hey, would you maybe want to do another guest spot and see what happens with this character? And ran through the character of Kiyomi, and I'm like, well, I love that. So let's see how that goes.
No pressure.
Welcome to our very first guest spot. You're kind of testing the waters here for us.
I
which is
am.
exciting.
My pinky toe is in the water right now, and it's feeling kind of warm.
As a waterbender, that works.
Oh my god! I didn't even look at me go. It's natural.
Yeah, tell us a bit about Kiyomi. Or do we want to save it for the... Yeah, we'll save it for... You can talk, man. Like, I know why you're just looking at me. Character assassination of Minh, character assassination of Jesse. It's rampant over here. Can't believe it.
Sorry, I
Roll
looked
the
at you.
music. No, you got to do your part.
I know.
Off you go. Hurry up. Stop laughing.
What? Tilia, are you finished?
Actually, yeah, so.
So typical for a man to come in and like...
Yeah.
Well, if someone actually spoke to me from across the table.
Georgie, could you please add one of your one of your burdens is that you can never let a man tell you what to do.
Anything else you want to say about Kiyomi?
No, I'm good. I think I'm going to keep my cards close.
Yeah, great.
Find out more. Stay tuned.
Hello, my name is Ash. I'm the Grand Master of the White Lotus.
I can say that now.
Have you been like singing along at home?
No, well, okay. So, actually, fun fact:
She wasn't done.
I wasn't finished. I was actually here for one of the recordings, a couple of recordings back, and when Ash said to the GM, I really wanted to join in and say gum gum, but I was like, no, come on, no. What's that TikTok noise where it's like, no, I can't do it yet. I have to wait. That's my moment right there.
Your time shall come.
My time should come.
I don't have much of a huge fact other than I am very excited to have Yanni back in the fold. And Yanni's been on a bit of a journey herself, if you couldn't tell by that sort of precursor to the episode. And I'm very excited to explore that as a character that I kind of get to play. Hoo-hoo. With that, let's roll the music.
The
are picking up exactly where we left off. Yanni has swooped in to save the day and has caught this this different version of Nuro who just opened their eyes.
Long Nuro. Stretched Nuro.
Just taking her and just get like Willy Wonka taffy machine. Let's just bloop. Why not?
Yanni? Is that Yanni?
Yeah. I don't know that I can call you little one anymore.
Yanni.
You okay?
Nuro stands up very awkwardly. They're drippy. They're gangly. They've got like their limbs aren't. They're too long, and they stumble as they kind of turn to face the tree that they've just stumbled out of, and they don't see Yanni for a moment. They're just like.
While you're not quite looking, Yanni's like flung a cloak over you.
Why me? Did you get what you wanted? Did you see what you want to see? What was the point of any of that? You saw every piece of me. You didn't let me see any of you. What does destiny want with the book? What does it want with me? Yanni, something feels not right. I can't hear anything anymore.
I mean, that'll come back, maybe. Look, it's. I don't know a lot what's going on. I've got a thing that you can read, and maybe it'll help. You can't read. I've got a thing that
Nuro
I can read.
interrupts with just the biggest hug.
And Yanni's taken very by surprise by this, and before too long, just naturally it's embraced. And it is so different from the last time you saw her. She is crying. She immediately goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for the way I treated you.
No, Yanni, you saved me. You protected me. You got hurt protecting me. I'm so happy you're here.
This takes a while. I think that the two of you combine just as almost just one. Like, there's no separating either of you. And there are a couple of things to note. Most people, Minh especially, you notice this very, very quickly. Yanni's eyes are now a piercing blue. And they didn't used to be. And two, Yanni's not a waterbender. Where did that come from?
Minh's on the ground in the muck over the book, sort of like hands and knees, like, you know, as he looked up to see all this happen. And he sees this person fall out that sounds like Nuro. He looks behind and sees this person that he's never seen before. And he just looks at Banji, and then he looks back at the tree and just sees this crumpled up wooden Nuro clenched in like this vicious looking wooden fist that's been sucked back into the tree. And he just gets up and runs towards that figure, I think.
Fu is basically with you at the same time, because Fu does not know what to think about any of this.
Banji is also running with you, PB drawn, channeling fire.
He doesn't even know what to do. I think he gets to the Nuro, and he just is like stunned, like he kind of just let that happen, and he doesn't know.
Men, what does the book say? What happened? Is Nuro still in there? Can we get them out? What's?
I don't know. He runs back and picks up the book and goes over that same line. And it just says that there has to be another vessel for the life energy.
What? Who's that? Yanni?
I mean, that does make a bit of sense, guys. I mean,
nothing makes sense, Arturo. What is that? Who's that? Who came out of the tree? What happened to Nuro?
Remember when I did that whole book exchange? Because I've got a physical body and the book didn't. Do you remember?
No, I wasn't there for that.
Yes.
You definitely were, but for the sake of the story, we'll move it on. It's... So Spirit's energy is always existing, but its vessel is very strange in the real world. Like, so you gotta... I mean, this looks like a straight-up exchange to me, but I see things different.
But that... He, like, puts a thumb over his shoulder and, like, they're old. I mean, not like ancient. I mean, like a teenager. But Nuro's a kid.
Fu has been looking sort of between the two both times and says, "Nope, that's my little girl." And she
Nothing little about her.
She leaves the two of you and goes to embrace in this hug. And Nuro, you'll feel this from behind. That, you know, your mother, only your mother could touch you like that, like in terms of just that wholesome feel.
And there is so much more of a reciprocation than there was before. Just in general, in an accepting of like comfort and love from their mother, there has been a block there from the entity.
Like this whole new body is like just below like that eye line. You've never felt as close to your mother as as you do here, because you're near face to face, and that's a new sensation. What's Kiyomi doing in this period?
She's just kind of taking it all in and letting Yanni and Nuro and Nuro's mum have this little moment, and is also kind of just wary because these two boys just ran up ready to fight, but she's kind of just, okay, we just let the dust settle and we'll just wait.
Banji is like so just, his brain is all over the place, and he is looking to Minh and is looking at new Nuro and is looking at Yanni, who is just kind of like, Yanni's eyes, I'm guessing, just don't even linger on Banji as she's looking around. And Banji looks down at PB and points at it, this new this new waterbender. Who are you? What are you doing here?
Whoa. Hey. No need to point a sword at me. Put that down. What are you doing? I'm here to help Yanni. Yanni, who is this?
What do you mean you're here to help Yanni? Do what?
Yanni sort of looks and it's just like, Minh, why are you traveling with a firebender?
Minh's just sort of like looking at the book and looking back up at the wooden Nuro, and he's not even paying attention. He's like trying to find an answer in the book here.
Like, why is there a firebender threatening? But what?
It's Banji, Yanni. Spirits.
What? Who?
It's Banji, Yanni.
Who? What? You say that like I know this name.
Wait.
The book.
Right, that makes sense.
Nuro it disengages now that Yanni's energy is
now there's a bit of tension building.
Yeah, I think Nuro looks over to Minh on his hands and knees, like desperately.
No, he's at the tree.
Oh,
he's at the fossilized.
Yeah.
Fossilized Nuro.
Looks over at you at the fossilized Nuro and sees you like desperately trying to like help or do something. I'm assuming you're trying to do.
Yeah, he's like looking for an answer in the book, and
Nuro just like immediately just feels a pang watching you struggle with that. And it feels really weird looking at that kind of fossilized, petrified body, and just stumbles over to you to...
I think as you do, Banji stands between you, like between new Nuro and this fossilized Nuro, and it's just like, don't touch them.
Banji is me.
We won?
Banji, I'm so sorry for what we did to your granddaddy.
What was the name of the man that we met in Shimsenbek Island under the wharf?
Tito. He helped us for a few weeks.
Oh, it's really you. You're okay.
It's me, Banji.
Oh, come here.
No,
and
it runs, stumbles into you.
Banji drops PB and just like grabs Nuro and wraps him up in a big embrace and gives him a big cuddle.
Minh,
it's Nuro, they're okay.
Minh sort of turns around and is like, Banji, it could be the sapling thing. It knows everything about us.
Yanni walks over and just slaps you in the back of the head and just like, don't be an idiot. Please.
Get off me.
For once. Just...
And he sort of like just keeps reading the book and looking up at...
Yanni slaps it out of your hands and almost physically points your face and says, please acknowledge that Nuro is right here. Say it. Say it, Minh.
It's me. I swear it's me.
Minh sort of not really knowing what to do and sort of snapped out of it a bit, but he's still not really sure. But you're so tall.
I know, it's really doggone weird. Nothing feels right. I can't hear the trees anymore.
Hey, and with sort of seeing them break down again, Minh rushes over. He's like, hey, it's okay because sometimes things happen and we get squashed by a big spirit and, you know, it hurts to move for a while. Or you were living in a tree your whole life or something and you just came out and now the trees are, you can't hear them because you've lost your ears. And then he's like, you got ears, right? And he like moves their hair out of the way. And he's like, oh no, you got them.
The hair is so long.
That's so long.
It's just like almost coiled. Very, very tangled almost.
Yeah. And it's like, and Minh sort of like sees it in the mud and he's like, oh, all right, hold on. And he sort of like gets their hair up and sort of like twists it and then like puts it around the neck and then like gets Tomo's headband off his shoulder and sort of like ties it in the hair just to keep it up and out of the mud. And he's like, see, like, you're okay. And this is weird. I don't know what to say. Hi. It's you. It's you.
It's me.
Right. So
I'm pretty sure it's me.
So why
it's you? Of course it is.
So why are you upset? Hey.
That thing used me. It sucked the life out of me. It took a piece of me. It made me think that I was in control. I don't know what it wants. Please take me out of here.
Everyone.
Yeah, let's go home. Come on, everyone.
Mama.
Including you, strange lady over there.
Wait, and Minh sort of picks up Banji's sword and he's like, Nuro, we can get rid of this tree.
Hey, can you please roll push your luck?
Oh no. But it's not mine though. It's not mine.
I'll tell you what, you could roll with Ted's dice.
No, that would feel like cheating. What am I rolling with? Passion.
Because my dice
+1.
always roll so well.
8.
Ooh.
Oh.
So this fire that was sort of channeled through it hasn't properly extinguished, and you pick it up and you feel this flame and an overwhelming sense just to cut this tree down. As you're saying that you could do this, you don't even realize your arm is actually leaning out to swipe.
I think Nuro stops you though.
Yeah.
Nuro definitely stops you, and they've got a lot of oomph. Actually, a lot of almost like instead of being kind of weak from being in that sap for so long, they have this weird energy, like this snap of just life to them. So I think a bit of that extra. You're not surprised. You're not expecting the strength that they have to kind of knock that sword out of your hand.
Okay. The tree can stay.
Yeah, let me just. I'll take PB back.
No,
That thing feels gross, Banji, by the
No,
way.
it's fine. It's just a bit muddy. Sorry, pal.
That's
sorry.
not what I meant.
It doesn't say anything.
First of all, we're not using that psycho to cut down anything in the swamp.
Well, let's not go name calling.
And 2, I feel like the Banyan's been keeping it here. We're not finished with this tree.
Yeah, and it's probably not finished with us. Minh picks up the book because there's not a lot of nice things about it in here, and he sort of wraps it up in the rope again and tucks it into like his belt or like his bag.
So are we okay with bringing this waterbender with us? We don't know.
Hey, look,
are.
I don't know who you are,
All right,
but
hold on.
this
All
is
right.
my
Yanni,
friend, so...
you do, you don't, but promise me. I promise you do. Hi, by the way. Hi, by the way.
Everyone, this is Kiyomi.
Hey, nice to
Hi.
meet you guys.
Can you please describe what Kiyomi looks like?
Yes, so she is a bit taller than average, tan skin, long black hair that is very, very loosely parted in like pigtail kind of style. She isn't wearing waterbender garb. She's wearing things that are more neutral but not specifically earth colors. It's just whatever colors are left, really, she'll wear. You notice that she also has like a few bangles and other pieces of jewelry on her as well that look very handmade. And she kind of has like grungy sort of makeup, very smudged, and then her lips have kind of that Queen Amidala look where it's like black sort of on the top and then a line straight down the middle. Very, very grungy, but very Avatar grunge. I kind of, that sort of kind of vibe.
So, Kiyomi, hello. Nice to meet you. Thanks for slicing our friend out of the amber.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying thanks for slicing our friend, and I was like, well, that's what Yanni told me to do. I'm just here for Yanni, guys. Like, you guys can chill. It's fine.
Yeah, Kiyomi's been like pretty great, like the whole time.
Cool. Great. Yanni, you do know this person. Stop looking at them weird.
I mean,
I'll explain it later, okay? Just chill.
Okay, I've got much more important things to deal with right now. Looks over at Nuro and smiles.
Nuro smiles back. So white.
All right, let's start marching. Get back to the swamp and get back home. Figure out what happens next.
So before everyone walks off, well, I guess as everyone's walking off, Banji is watching them leave, and he turns around and looks back up at the like petrified little Nuro, and he runs back up and he climbs up to where they are, and he reaches in and grabs the bone knife that they were carrying, and the little fish toy, and the cabbage toy as well, and then gives them a kiss on the forehead and says, "Thank you, Ewan," and jumps back down and runs after everyone.
The trek back seems to take a very small amount of time, mostly because Yanni is explaining the last 3 or so months in great detail, especially the last 2 weeks in her travels with Kiyomi from getting to Natsuo to here. It feels like she's been on just as many adventures as you, maybe slightly less life-threatening, but still just as full of growth as everybody else's. And she has a different confidence about her. She once had this impression she would run from anything too hard, and that's not there anymore. You even see during some of this description, on her knuckles, you can tell she's been wearing that cestus. There's like bruises and like the skin just doesn't look, not that it ever looked dainty, but it definitely looks like she has been in fights. And before you know it, you're back with the tribe.
Hey, everyone. We're back.
Old Man Do is still like doing his very slow pace, like towards where you were, and he's nearly caught up to the edge, like ready to shake his fist.
He's been walking for 6 hours.
Yeah, he's old and slow, full of arthritis.
He must have been doing other things.
He stopped a few times to have a snooze.
And argue with people. He does this walk every day.
Yeah, basically.
And I think I've got nothing else. I don't know what you just look at me like I'm going to do something.
I don't know how to look at you. I get that.
I think Nuro is at the outskirts of the village. Nuro stops by Wingnut, and they're kind of just desperately trying to talk to this tree. Like, Wingnut, please, if you can hear me, just wave a vine or something. Just let me know that I'm here.
Can you please roll assess the situation?
Okay. That's a 10 on the dice.
Oh, you got no minuses, so
No,
can't go wrong here.
yeah.
but I do have
Conditions.
I do have condition, so that's an 8.
You don't. You're
I'm fresh?
This whole
Fresh out of the tree.
Thank you so much.
That's not fair. She said no.
Okay,
No.
well technically that's an 11 then. that would be an 11.
You are worried because you wait and you don't hear the voices. And again, we've said this in previous episodes, they're not voices per se, but it's the easiest way to think of them.
Yeah.
And you realize that there's a bit of a buzz, and you, without even realizing, have been holding the stick the entire time, and it is vibrating. Like, it is shaking to the point as if a string is being plucked, and you can feel sound through it.
Get fucking jobs, like what? These fucking people.
It is being plucked like a string, and you can feel a voice through it. It's the only way to describe it. And you know that Wingnut is talking to you in a way.
Yeah. It's a huge amount of comfort. Makes them feel like they weren't just losing their minds beforehand. And it feels like a weird dream meet reality. So I think that confirms that they're there weirdly. And they follow the rest of the group.
Yeah, Minh comes over and he's like, "Hey, Nuro, I don't mean to bother you with your tree talking business."
Wingnut. His name is Wingnut.
Minh looks at the tree and looks, which doesn't do anything for Minh, and then looks back at Nuro. He's like, "We are, like, the village is looking at you. I don't mean to alarm you. You're not wearing clothes. You just have a cloak around you. Yeah. Would you like to go maybe get some clothes from your mother's house?"
You also realize your feet hurt, weirdly.
Yeah, and I'm kind of achy in places. I gotta. Will you take me there, please?
Yeah. You're probably just sore because you've spent, I assume, like 10 years.
Yeah, and that
in like
weird amber gunk.
Is it in your lungs? And Min's just sort of like making small talk.
Yeah, Nuro just like shakes their head just to try and get a little bit more out.
Smash cut to about an hour later where Nuro is refreshed, clean, like, bathed in some way and dressed in probably some of Fu's clothes.
Yeah.
And everyone is sitting. We've discussed that this hut or shack.
The tribe, most of the huts are like on stilts, like they're raised huts. And that's Fu's in particular would be a raised.
It's not a huge space, but everyone manages to cram in, and some of the best bugs are in a bowl for snacking on.
I'm starving.
You well and truly are. And Yanni is looking at going, do I?
The crunchy ones are the best, Yanni.
Well, that one looks crunchy, and she takes one and chomps it. And no one can tell what she thinks by her face. Hey, is Kiyomi taking a bite?
Kiyomi is absolutely refusing to take a bite. There is no way that she will be eating bugs tonight. Thank you. We will abstain.
I don't trust her. Kidding.
Okay, so you told me that you were going to explain why you've got a firebender. I saw what happened with Tomo, and I'm very sorry, everyone.
I'm sorry too.
it's sort of, as you can see, it's like hard, for, I guess, for all of us to kind of talk about it. We just, I guess, been putting it away. But Minh sort of like pats Tomo's urn on his side and he's like, it's fine, Yanni, he's with us and we're going to find somewhere for him to go.
That sounds great. I'm really happy for that.
Yeah.
But why is there a firebender? What's that about?
Oh, first of all, his name is Banji.
Okay, why is Banji the firebender here?
Banji has saved my life multiple times. I probably saved your life multiple times, Yanni, also. I think he saved Minh's life. You know what I'm trying to say is Banji... there's weird mind stuff at play here.
We won. It's okay. I've got this. And Banji walks up and sticks out his hand. Hello, my name's Banji. I'm a friend.
Yanni sort of looks at the rest of you.
Then
all,
nodding.
Like,
like really aggressively.
And shrugs and says, well, I guess if Nuro thinks you're okay, then I'm Yanni. Also a friend.
Doesn't matter what I think, apparently. It's just grumbling away in the corner.
I mean, did you nod? Did you said you'd explain it and he did the explaining. It's fine. His friend. We're just going to move on.
And
would you like a moment, Minh? Tell me more.
That's enough, Yanni. Speaking of friends, who's Kiyomi? And how did you two find your way to the foggy swamp?
Well, I needed to get there because I knew that everyone was going to need help, and probably Nuro the most. I got a visit from your fox friend.
Mr. Fox.
Yeah, and helped me. And she, like, upends a bag that's just full of, like, parchments and scrolls and whatever else. It's like, I have been doing so much research about what might be happening, and...
Wait, I've seen these. These are from the library. These are all, like, library-looking stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you
get it? Did you rob the
Fox. My fox friend.
Yeah, it turns out when, like, people like you, they give you things. So it's great.
I wouldn't know.
I don't even need to steal it. It's fine. And Kiyomi has been, like, just the best since, like, from the start. Just offered me a ride on the boat. I will pay you soon, I promise.
Oh, no, you know what? Don't worry about payment. It's fine. It's fine. I'm just here because you needed help and looks like everything's all good. So, I mean, I don't want to take up anyone's time or,
No, please, no, you're so fine. You're so fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You're welcome to stay as long as you like.
I mean, first of all, are you from the southern tribe or the northern tribe?
You can't just ask what tribe people are from, okay?
Well,
they will tell you when they're ready.
Do you know Kiyomi Minh? You lived in the Northern Water tribe.
I must say, Kiyomi, you do look familiar. I feel like maybe...
No, I'm from the Southern Water tribe. Not really sure why that matters. Is that something that you do with every person that you meet?
Sorry, I'm a firebender.
Yeah,
some old habits die hard,
Yeah.
What happened to being a friend, Banji?
What?
What happened to being a friend?
I'm a friend. I just like to know things. That's how I
Can I just excuse bad behavior by saying, sorry, was a firebender?
He's an inquisitive soul.
I just like to know where people are from so I can connect with them.
The Southern Water tribe.
Thank you, Kiyomi. That's very kind.
I lived in the north, so no, we haven't met, clearly. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So anyway, Yanni needed
Tilia.
help, so I...
Could you please roll trick for me?
Ooh. Where are my dice? What do I add?
I have a cheat sheet if you want to have a little peek at that.
Creativity.
Is that actually racist?
No, we're just... I think it's just...
Oh, so 0. Is that a 6?
That's a 6.
8. I can math.
They stumble, take one forward. They act foolishly, I'll give you another opportunity, or they overcommit and are to sea for some time.
The last one then?
Okay. Overcommit and are to sea for some time. You know, after you have told them that you're from the Southern Water tribe, that it doesn't matter where in the world you've been, that's where they think you've just come from.
Yeah, we spent some time in the southern waters. It's quite nice. Very cold. Not a fan, but beautiful. A lot of water and ice and snow.
Lots and lots of water and ice. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Nothing like ice.
It's fine though. Like you get used to the cold. I mean, I'm used to the cold. And I can swim. Minh sort of leans back like in a fancy, cool position, or he thinks he's trying to be fancy and cool. And he's like, "Yeah, Banji over here doesn't know how to swim."
Oh, I don't know how to swim.
Hey, we got that in common.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, swimming's fine. I mean, if you're into that sort of thing, but
So Yanni
I'm gonna go back to dues and sleep this off because it's been a day.
You look a little peaky right now.
Oh no. It's like, I have to, and he leaves. Super embarrassed. And you just hear, idiot, bitch.
Fu sort of looks and says, well, he definitely needs his rest, but what's the plan? I mean, Nuro, you going to stay with Mama? Is now that I got you back, you going to stay? And you see hope in her eyes.
I don't think Nuro is ready to be confronted by that question so soon.
This is probably the happiest you've seen your mother for a while.
And
she sort of keeps reaching out and like touches you, like just
Yeah,
plays
and-
with your hair or just gives you a little bit of a touch on the hand, like a bit of a squeeze.
I see that as her testing the waters because I think there was a part of Nuro that always flinched away a little bit. I don't think that Fu's love didn't really serve the destiny tree or the sapling, if you know what I mean.
I do.
Yeah. And so they actually they feel very different looking up at their mother. They feel something that's been missing a little bit there, and that's like Nuro fights back tears thinking about reuniting finally, and without even realizing that they were apart, and knowing in their heart that their place right now isn't in the swamp. Things don't feel right. It's a little too close to home. So, Mama, is that what you want? You want me to stay?
Yeah. You could see that she's uncertain because that was not the response she was hoping to hear.
And if I said to you that no, I wasn't quite ready to come home yet, would you still love me?
Oh, little skink, no. And she grabs you in a big embrace. And she says, the swamp will always be your home.
There's just so much I gotta figure out, Mama. You know, I know what you want me to be, and I know you want me to be here for the tribe, but maybe I'm not ready yet.
And I think Yanni leans in and says, I will take the best care of Nuro for you. Like, so good. So much best care. That's me. I'm best carer ever. I'll do it.
Mama, Yanni is family to me.
And the two older women share a look with each other. And so much is spoken in complete silence with just that stare. And Fu fights back a tear and says, just let me know when you're ready to go, and I'll make sure to pack you some of the crispiest ones.
The crispy one.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mama. You're the best, Mama. I love you.
And she just hugs you once again. Doesn't even need to say it. You feel it.
Yeah.
And you feel it in a way that you didn't realize you hadn't before.
Yeah.
Not quite the same.
Yeah, it's so... Oh, there's so much... Oh, poor Nuro.
The only way to describe it is it feels more human.
Yeah, yes, absolutely.
Yanni says, with that, where are we sleeping? And she points to Kiyomi and herself. And Fu says, well, I got things to do, so you could bunk in here and we'll make it all happen tomorrow, I guess.
Banji, I'll bunk with you.
Oh, yeah. I mean, do you think you're fit now?
And Nuro, looks at them, at them down at themselves. They look like just the weirdest, scarecrow. Just, real lanky, and they're just good point.
We'll make it work. It's fine. Let's, yeah, I can scoot you over.
We've squeezed into smaller places.
Yeah, we have. It's all good. Let's go.
Does anyone have anything that happens overnight?
I think try as he might to fit in the bed with Nuro, they're just way too gangly, and Banji is all right, fine.
They don't sleep like the dead anymore either. As well.
But loud snores, full
and then just the poking in the back. Yeah. Worst bedmate.
Horrible. And
no bed cam.
Yeah. Banji's oh right, sorry, and he grabs PB and heads outside to. Obviously, when he dropped PB in the mud, he felt a bit bad about that and wants to.
I'm not gonna forget that.
I know. I'm sorry. I'll clean you up and maybe give you a wee polish while I'm out here. And sorry for dropping you in the mud, but I was just overwhelmed and and he starts to gets a damp cloth and starts rubbing all the out of the intricate kind of curves and stuff. He's rubbing all the mud out of there and.
This is focused work. I feel this is sort of one of those things that you know when you're cleaning a PlayStation controller or you're just getting into those edges and going, I'm really enjoying cleaning thoroughly.
Getting a toothpick shaped stick and just getting right in the crevice and getting all the gunk out. It's so satisfying.
PB sort of says, "What is this really about? You've never cared before."
Look, there's been a lot of changes recently, and I needed something to focus my mind on, and I think you've been a friend for so long now that weirdly I think you might have been the only thing that hasn't changed in the last few weeks. So yeah, how are you, PP?
You're starting small talk.
Well, we should. Everyone keeps saying that you're this big horrible thing, but I know about you. I know that you're helpful and good and a friend. You saw me through the dark days when I didn't know who I was, and I just want to make sure that you're taken care of as well.
PB's really silent at that for a little bit and says, no, role played actually. I want to see how well you're getting through here.
Watch this be another double sixes on the sword.
Oh, that's a 7.
On a 7, the silence is really awkward for a while, and he says, "Dance with me."
Oh, sure. How would you like to dance?
Stand up.
Banji stands up.
Hold the sword out. Hold me out.
He does.
And Banji, you feel energy's not the right word to say. It almost feels like you are being puppeted. Not in a bad way. It's not like you're being jerked around. You just feel...
Guided.
Guided is the exact word. You actually feel very similar to when you were training with Piandao. And your arms would move to deflect something before you even realized you had to. And you thought it was instinct. And now you're beginning to think maybe PB had a bit more to do with that than you thought, at least at the early stages.
Yeah.
And this guidance moves. And for anyone watching, it's beautiful. You move from one form to the next, to the next. Now, anyone in the know knows that this is the dragon dance, which is normally done with 2. But Banji doesn't know that. Banji just feels so smooth and fluid doing this. It almost feels like power itself. It feels like grace itself. there is no earthly way to describe what you're feeling at this moment.
Yeah.
And as you do, like, the sword glows brighter. PB is, for lack of a better term, enjoying himself. And Minh, I think that...
Yeah, Min's sort of lying in bed, hearing the... like the flaming sword being thrown around, doing the forms. And he's just sort of lying there, and he rolls over and he sees the book on a stool up, like, away from him. And he's sort of just looking at it, and it's sort of closing in. And then he just sort of like gets frustrated that he can't sleep, that he's focusing on this book, and he gets up and he goes outside and watches Banji's forms. Well, he thinks they're forms. He just imagines that he's doing sword forms, as he should. He's new to the swordsmanship, so...
They're, like, you definitely think that, but they're also strange forms. Like, why would the sword be angled that way? That can't be good for defense or attack.
Like,
that's weird.
Seeing the strange angles with the blade edge being in different positions to the movement, and you know, Min's just sort of like analyzing it from an earthbender perspective. You know, it's very precise, all their movements, but he's not really understanding. And I think he even interjects at one point with Banji just in his own world, and he's like, Banji, why are you doing it like this? Sorry, I didn't mean to...
It's a real snapback into, like, you were in the flow, you were in the zone.
I don't mean to bother you at night, but the flames were keeping me up.
Yeah, sorry, I should have maybe...
I couldn't sleep anyway.
Oh, something on your mind?
Yeah, a lot, actually.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yes, tell us about it.
Did I hear that?
Yeah.
I don't like it when that sword talks to me.
I don't like it when you talk in general, but I tolerate it.
Yeah, fair enough. I'll tolerate you, as I have. Oh, God. Spirits. Minh just, like, puts his head in his hands. Yanni's back, and suddenly she's the favorite again immediately.
Yeah, I mean, Nuro was always close with Yanni, and they really filled a hole that I think Nuro needed. I mean, we did our best to be a parent to Nuro, all three of us, but Yanni just really, I think, connected with Nuro on a level that none of us ever did. And, you know, Yanni's not my favorite.
She glows very brightly.
Yeah, she's changed. Her eyes are all glowy. At a guess, she's just full of spirit juice. And I sort of look up at Arturo, who's clearly eavesdropping. I'm like, does that seem right, Arturo?
Yeah, not the spirit. I mean, maybe I could have some of that juice.
Don't, no.
No, but like, you got it wrong last time. I think that maybe that's not a bad.
Okay.
Maybe I'll ask you when she wakes up. That could be a good thing. But yeah.
I don't know. I'm just Tomo and then the kid.
Yeah. I think we need to get out of the swamp.
I don't belong in this place.
Neither do I.
Everything's changing and it's so fast, and I'm so tired. And I'm making mistakes, and...
Hey, Minh, it's okay. We're all doing our best. And I think, you know, we came here to do something, and we did, and we got a part of the book, and...
I know, I just...
Besides, you are only human.
Exactly. And you've done more for all of us than we could have ever hoped for, and, you know, albeit you and I fought, but you kept us together, and you kept us moving forward.
It's just... I feel like every time we step forward, we're just like slipping backwards in this muddy hill that we seem to be climbing. And
well, it's a good thing we've got an earthbender then.
Do you not want to reach the top?
Minh thinks on that for a little bit. I think I'm more afraid of the top, maybe. How do we talk to Nuro? They're so tall.
Yeah, that's going to be a bit of an adjustment.
Is it even them, Banji? I mean, I
What
think
do you mean?
is.
Of course it is.
Yeah,
What do you mean? Like, can't you see that?
I know, but I just can't get, I guess, small Nuro out of my brain. That crushing, I felt so hopeless. And what, it just like that, they're fine?
Hey, Minh. Do you look the same as when you first started coming on this journey?
It's not the same.
Is it not?
They're like 10 years older almost, I think. Maybe 5, 6. I don't know.
Well, look, all of us have changed on this journey, and all of us will probably change again before the end. And I hugged Nuro, and I felt them. And when I went back to, wee Nuro in the tree, and I kissed their forehead, I didn't feel anything.
All right.
I felt Nuro when they hugged me.
Okay.
And I felt them struggling in the bed, trying to fit in.
Yeah.
It's them, man.
Okay. I mean, it must be right if Yanni came all this way. She didn't come here just to make fun of me again.
Exactly. And
I mean, she will, but
listen, if Yanni is giving you hassle, I can step in. I can be the bad guy.
We can do that.
maybe. I don't know. It's still weird between us.
Do you mean weird between you and me, or between you and Yanni?
No, me and Yanni.
Yeah.
I don't think she's ever going to forgive me. And I mean, they mean so much to Nuro.
Well, look, Nuro still hasn't decided if they're going to come with us.
Minh puts his hand on Banji's shoulder and is like, they're coming with us. I know that for certain.
Arturo flutters to the one's like, yeah, you're an idiot.
Yeah, well, I mean, I just felt so guilty about taking them last time. I wanted to make sure that this is the right path.
Oh, spirits, we have a teenager now.
You're all teenagers.
I'm 18, thank you very
That's
much.
a teenager, Minh.
But it's an adult.
And as this argument begins to heat up in a very jovial way, we actually shift over to Kiyomi, who, once again, wasn't asleep.
No, she's been watching from a distance, kind of sat at the base of a tree. She's got a little dagger out and is kind of whittling away a piece of swamp wood that she's found. Just sitting, watching, observing the bromance that's happening in front of her. And she just kind of smirks to herself as she's looking down and does a very low, soft couple of whistles, and suddenly you see this eelhound very tentatively walking up to her and sits beside her, and she takes out a couple of those bugs that she didn't take for dinner and kind of tosses them up to the eelhound, and then just stares into her dagger. And that is her night.
The morning comes, and everyone has a pack that Fu has clearly worked on from the early hours. Some of you are far too scared to open up to see what's actually in it.
No, Min's excited. Oh, a lunch pack? I haven't had one of these in years. And he's like, wait, how much of it is bug?
An amount.
Like more or less than 50%?
An amount, Minh.
Thank you.
But it'll keep you going till you're out. It's got a few other things just to remind you of us. And the entire tribe is here to wave you off. And you realize as Fu opens up the entryway, you see that everyone is waiting, and they're all smiling, and they're all going, give him. Oh, I was going to say give him hell, that's not right. You go get him, you lot. I was like, yeah, it's been great learning from you all, and we really liked it. And Robert just
Thanks, bro, but you always know what to say.
And it is that general, it's the end of a hero movie where everyone's sort of cheering ticker tape parade style, but instead it's that send off as you all sort of feel like it's time to leave the swamp.
They have one last goodbye to their mother, big hug, and then when they part, Nuro doesn't feel like a child that's being kept away from the world as much anymore. There is an understanding that actually kind of leads to them both holding out an arm and kind of clasping each other, like not just as family, but as kind of like comrades, I guess, in that way of like, I trained you to do good in this world. Go out there and do it.
Yeah.
Nuro just says, just is crying but smiles. Big. They've still got a gap tooth, and they get it.
Did you knock it out last night? I don't like that. Get rid of it.
They tap their head and they're like, I've got ways of reaching out, Mama. You look out for me, huh?
Of course.
I'll be back, and I'll be better. I'll be better for it, Mama.
She hugs you again and says, I don't know how that's possible, because you're the best.
Thank you for everything.
And she squeezes you tighter, and then let's go. And you see her almost straighten herself out. Says, you go on and make the world a better place. You hear?
I hear.
And she reaches out and touches your cheeks and says, that's my little girl. And smiles as warmly as she can.
Nuro feels like a weird like pang at that, but doesn't linger on it, and clasps her hand and then lets go, and then begins to walk out, and just very curiously actually just crouches down to reach down into a root to see if they actually can feel the banyan in a way that they never have. And I don't think they do, but it feels different when they try and connect, if you know what I mean. Like they're still not there at all, but
you feel a pulse.
Yeah.
It's almost like a heartbeat.
It goes beyond the swamp in the way that the Destiny Tree didn't.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you realize that you're not cut off from the swamp. You just need to learn how to listen.
The Book of War is Georgie Hazel as Nuro, Ted Darling as Banji, myself Jesse Thomas as Minh FANG, Ash Cooper as our Goose Monkey Grandmaster, and Tilia Quinn as our special guest Kiyomi. Our theme song and outro, The Book of War Remains, as well as Spirits, is by our music producer Matt Harrison. A big thank you to Tilia for coming and joining the cast for a little while. They are a wonderful addition to the show, and I'm certain Ash has got a lot of evil, deceitful plans involved, so look forward to that. You can find Tilia on Twitch by looking up Tilia Quinn with 3 N's, I believe, on the end. That is TiliaQuinnn. The next episode will be out on April 5th, so we will see you then. Gum 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 gum.
You're such a
gum 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 gum. I have an Avatar podcast. Also, you're drawing Final Fantasy comics. Go f yourself.
Get wrecked.
We're here because we're. What are you talking about?
I know. I'm just having a razz.
Yeah, well, it worked, eh? Riled me up for no reason. I could be playing Monster Hunter right now. Just instead of getting assassinated by him, joked at by you. Ted's not even talking to me.
I'm just playing it safe and like not looking.
Yeah, they're not like allowed to look.
Meet my eye line,
That's the best part.